I think it taught me that learning doesn't stop when you get out of school. Because a lot of the things that I've learned, I feel like I learned after high school. Like Darion said, like you didn't really learn life lessons while you were in school. Like you learned history, math. Like I don't be fucking using the Pythagorean theorem. I don't use none of that. But
not ever.
ever. Like, why do I need to learn this? I ain't
Them
gonna.
Oh my
dads.
god.
But I learned.
Right.
I've learned so much more after. So in that you never stop learning, bro. You learn something new every day, and it's great. You hear that saying, and it's true as shit. Like you learn something new every day. So it taught me that day.
Welcome to King, kicking it with the bros. I'm about to call out Kings, bro. I'm sorry, y'all, bro. Y'all know I'm excited about the show tonight. I'm excited about the show tonight, bro. Which everybody, y'all not gonna hear this show until Wednesday, but you know, King's Realm is a night. Shout out to AP for the intro. We gonna rock that all night. Shout out to him. BT's here.
Yo.
L's here.
Yo.
Manny's in the building.
Yo.
So the whole gang is here, kicking it with the bros. So why is your face like that, Darion?
But you ain't supposed to be able to see me.
But I can see you. All right, BT, the hardest working man in the military. How was work today, bro?
Hey man, work was today. Honestly, was real smooth. I ain't gonna hold you. Cleaned out my car at work, so that's really what took me so long. But work was straight.
Wow.
I wish I'd have had time to clean out my car at work.
Right. Instead of actually working, you know.
Well, all that hard work we talked about.
I know, right?
I do work hard now. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Hey, I was off.
Today was a day.
I can't.
Hard working man.
We just really talk real highly about you, B.
I appreciate it too.
He deserved to
He
be able
cleaning this car on the clock. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm off the clock, but I had time to do it after I clocked out.
support the troops, man. Hey, man, you can clean your car.
I bet. Support the troops. Yeah, you're right. But did y'all always know y'all wanted to be troops?
All right, so I'm gonna break it down like this.
All
the
right.
way it is, Brandon in the Air Force, they're called airmen. We're called sailors. Army is
Bro, you know what I meant.
Marines. No, I mean, so you know, but I mean, everybody may not know that because
You're right. Okay.
If somebody call me a soldier, I'll be like, bro, I'm not a soldier, bro. I'm a sailor. But I don't give a fuck, whatever. But that's how it is. Nah, I don't think I figured it out until like it was senior year when I was like, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Like, we about to what I'm gonna do? Like, I wasn't getting hired nowhere. I knew I wasn't about to do school. I ain't even like high school. I was like, hey man, some shit. Military it is, and I just had to figure out which branch I wanted to do. And we weeded them out, and it was Navy.
BT.
You weeded them out.
That's a real good question. That was a real good question. I actually got asked that in my counseling session today. Why are you still in? I really didn't know why I joined it, to be honest. I mean, I left literally the senior year of my college career. Not really having an expectation of what I would get myself into.
Yeah, he was. It really shocked the hell out of me.
You went to A&T
when Brandon left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So during that time, I mean, you see all the ROTC people going in and things like that. And, I had a girl at the time in college, and she and I just weren't getting along. We had a lot of classes that were together. So I was like, you know what? Bump this. I'm out. So I just signed that paperwork and I left.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. That man just left the old
school.
You know what's crazy about that, bro?
Old school. Signed up for the military. I'm out.
Hell, we that's that time we went up to A&T and we almost got left by the train.
Yep.
Man,
We almost got left for the train.
We damn sure did, yo.
Good times at A&T, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, we had some good times at A&T. We had some good times at A&T. But I asked y'all that.
Never been to homecoming.
Yeah, I have. Ooh.
Yeah.
Greatest homecoming on earth.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
missed a good event, bro.
But so I brought that up to run it. You know, most people out of high school, like E said, they join the military. What did high school teach y'all? AP, what did you learn from high school?
I'm glad that you picked on me first.
Well, you know, I got to.
Because high school ain't teaching me shit. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by it didn't teach me anything. So now we did go through the textbooks, you know, and I learned a lot about the textbooks. But once I actually graduated and got into the real world, none of that shit applied to nothing that I did. Because I didn't become a mathematician, a historian, an English teacher, you know, a scientist, nothing like that. But I guess it did help me because some of the things that I learned, like the things in English, writing sentences, of course, I still use, but I feel like I didn't need 12 years of my life to learn how to do that. I could have just figured that out. And, you know, they could have just summed that up in elementary school, and I would have been good when I was 10.
Yeah, but you're thinking on the education level. I'm thinking about just life in general. What is something that you learned in high school that still to this day is something? Yeah.
Oh, so from
like a life perspective.
Choose your friends wisely.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Because I can say the circle that I had my 9th grade year at Garner is not the same circle that I have today. So
Facts.
you gotta make sure you choose your friends.
Facts. I believe you. Yeah, that's true. L.
Good talk.
No, I'm here. I was thinking because I kind of felt the same way, you know, as far as it not really. But I would say independency, wanting to be independent was a life changing or life type of aspect that I got from high school. Music, because I was in band, it really got me into just a lot of different type of music instruments. My musicality, it enhanced my musicality even to this day with me skating, you know, and the music that I skate to, how I skate to it.
Yeah, that nigga love them horns, boy.
And then of course, I mean, just like the little things, you know, that I wouldn't say we needed 12 years, but we still needed some of that to get through life, you know, English, math, etc. But I'll leave it at that.
I feel you on that. And for the people that don't know, plug them in on what type of skating you do. Just a quick plug on that type of skating.
The type of skating that I do originated in Chicago. It's called JB. It stands for James Brown. Although he's not from Chicago, they took his dance moves and incorporated it into skating. Pretty much, to sum it up.
Pretty much.
You have his music. They took his music and started playing into the rinks, and then now they have remixes of his original music now. Different generations of skating, old school, middle school, new school.
And he's nice on them eights. I'll put up against anybody. He's
please
nice.
don't. Nah, I'm all right.
Nah.
Yeah, I got bread.
I don't gamble, but
but we about to be on like B Rabbit. We just about to throw him in there.
I'm betting on AP's
throw him in there.
All right, BT, what about you? Life.
Appreciate you for calling on me.
I cannot.
Y'all got
He knew
jitters
it when
today,
he
huh?
said it. That's why he paused.
Nah, that's just a polite thing to
All right, go
do.
ahead.
But nah, just kind of caveat, carrying on to what they had said. Honestly, academically, um, honestly felt like it prepared me for a lot of what I'm going through today. Um, just knowing that my kid is following behind me, I have to take the time to teach her what it is I learned because she can't get through that without guidance. For instance, tonight we were reading, and she's reading on two grade levels above where she's at, and it showed me and reminded me that all the hard work that I had, just passing that on to the next generation, definitely, is needed. Now, as far as the intangibles of high school, um, you know, being on time, I never really understood why I had to be on time to a class before the bell. I mean, or I'm going to get in trouble. You know what I mean? So, when it's time to show up to an appointment, let's say in the military, or to a job interview or whatnot, like being early, being on time and hustling in between classes to, those are the intangibles that I see. So I really feel like high school, in a sense, um, pushed me to be where I am today. So that's what I got to say.
To jump in, it's funny that you say it taught you to be on time because in high school I was never fucking on time. But me as a person, I like to be prompt and early. So like now, no matter where I go, I'm early. But in high school, I didn't give a fuck. The
Well,
bell rung, I'm here, bro. I'm here. Let's get started. Shit, I don't give a fuck. 5 minutes past, I'm here. I could have
man,
not
Yeah.
came.
I think high school taught me life is short. Because we lost a few people while we were in high school, or like a year or two
yeah,
after. So that it definitely it taught me that life is short for sure, and it taught me that
Bryce's mom.
yeah, and Alex, rest in peace to Alex.
Yeah,
yeah,
You got Cat, since we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you can call them all out. I don't know all
You
of them.
said who, bro?
Liz.
You got Liz. You got
Oh
Terrence.
yeah,
You got
Terrence, yeah.
Catherine. You got,
yeah.
like you said, you got Alex. You got Bryce. You have Tori.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. Yeah, it's just a lot, man. It's a lot.
A lot from
More than a handful.
Yeah,
So,
I can tell.
and I think it taught me that learning doesn't stop when you get out of school. Because a lot of the things that I've learned, I feel like I learned after high school. Like Darian said, like you didn't really learn life lessons while you were in school. Like you learned history, math. Like I don't be fucking using the Pythagorean theorem. I don't use none of that. But
Not ever.
ever, like, why did I need to learn this? I ain't
Them
gonna.
Oh my
dads.
god.
But I
None of
learned.
that.
I've learned so much more after. So you never stop learning, bro. You learn something new every day, and it's great. You hear that saying, and it's true as shit. Like you learn something new every day. So it taught me that you never stop learning. Don't think because you're out of school that you don't have to learn.
Right.
Yeah, that's facts on that.
That's it.
What high school taught me, can't trust everybody. Like, you can't. Everybody's not cool with you. Everybody's not your friend. There's people out there that don't want to see you do good things. You can't trust people.
Mm-hmm.
And the people you do instill your trust in, you got to be smart about it. You got to understand that it's boundaries to trust. You don't just tell everybody all your business as soon as you meet them. Like, but they got to be able to respect those boundaries. It also
Or
taught me,
address.
like, huh? What'd you say?
No, go ahead.
It also taught me, like, when it comes to, like you said, picking your friends, you want to pick the right ones, but there's also times when you could feel like your friends are not the right ones. Um, but you got to be able to overcome those things. So, how do you know which friends are your real friends in high school? So slowing down in life, like you don't want to live life rushing through high school. You want to enjoy those moments because they're important moments because you are still a kid, but you about to jump into adulthood. So you have adults and kids in the same facility, and you're still telling them students, and that's the only time that's happened. Because in middle school, you're not going to have no 18-year-old in middle school. So when you get to high school, you got students and you got adults technically, and you want them to all be students. So you have to know how to go through life during that time because you might be a freshman and you might encounter a senior, and you might get real cool with a senior. It could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. So you have to know when that goes back to picking your friends, and just slowing down is another thing that I learned in high school. You got to slow down. You don't want to live fast. You don't want to just jump and do everything that everybody else does. So be your own person.
When it comes to friends, you know, I never really understood why my parents said, you know, you'll outgrow people. You know, when I had, you know, when I first heard the concept of outgrowing someone, thought me, Pat, you know, Leo, you know, countless other friends, we was going, you know, be inseparable. You know what I mean? Like wherever I went, no matter where I'm at, like it's always going to be those people. But as time goes on and you start to elevate, you outgrow some people, and some people outgrow you. So I think that that's something that you know, I appreciate you for saying that part. Something that I also learned.
So that's a good thing that we all learn something in high school that we carry on through life and stuff that we're gonna teach our kids. But a topic that we talked about last week.
From high school.
What? You said what?
You talking to me?
Okay. You said something, didn't you? All right. So the topic we talked about last week was life as a black man, but we talked about it in a situation when it came to racism. Today we're gonna talk about it when it comes to like emotions and showing emotions. So I'm gonna start this conversation by asking this. What am I gonna pick on? L, when was the last time you cried, bro? Like actually cried?
Oh, I'm dead.
Great question.
Like if you like, I'm gonna be honest. The last time I cried was earlier today. And I'm gonna tell y'all that after. Yeah, I'm being honest, like dead serious. I'm gonna tell y'all why after everybody answers. I'm gonna tell you why I cried.
That's not fair, bro, because I'm a Cancer, so everybody already gonna be thinking I'm a crybaby.
Well, nobody would have known you was a Cancer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, people know me. They know me.
I'll start off.
I wear it proudly.
Yeah, I mean, you got a tattoo of a crab. Yeah, you got a tattoo of a crab.
Right.
So I'll start off and say about the emotional part or the last time I cried. I cry in secret a lot. And as a man, we've been programmed and taught that that's not the manly thing to do. It's funny for the people that's listening. For you guys, I want you to listen and watch this YouTube video called "The Man Box." And he talks about how the system in society is pretty much telling men that you're supposed to be strong, you're supposed to show no fear, you're supposed to never cry and whatnot. He talks about his two children, how his daughter can cry, and he's like, "Oh, baby, it's okay, you know, like I got you." And then he goes on to his son crying, and he's like, okay. Well, it's been about 2 minutes now. You got to stop that. You got to stop crying and act like a man. And you know, as I got older, I realized that sometimes you gotta let that out. Sometimes you gotta let go and allow God to work in your life. And when you lose control, you let control go, that's when miracles start happening. So that's
So
my
with
piece
that,
on it.
so with that being said, when was the last time you cried? Because you say you cry in secret a lot.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like I ain't gonna lie to you. What was it last week or this weekend?
Okay.
Man, I cry often. I cry often whenever I get done with my daughter and she leaves. So that's often.
Oh. Anybody
Are
else?
those tears of sadness or tears of joy? Like, are you joyful because of the time you spent, or are you sad because you leave, or is it both?
That's that's a touchy subject for me, but I'll go ahead and say it. There was in 2015. That's when some of the darkest times in my life, and I almost did something that I would have regretted. I would never gotten a chance to see my daughter, if you catch my drift. And every time I look at her, it's like reminds me and it haunts me. Like you almost did that, and you would never get a chance to see this angel. So it it eats me. It eats me up on the inside. So yeah.
I feel you on that. So I cried today, and it was interesting because I wasn't expecting to cry, and it was kind of like my day was just so emotional. Because I hit y'all with the topic earlier, what about like 8:30, 9, and then like all day, my day has it's had something to do with emotions. But today, as y'all know, Kobe's in kindergarten. He's doing his sight words. So at the beginning of the year, Kobe couldn't do 50 sight words. So he's like, all right, we've been working, we be working. So we've been working. He finally can do 50 sight words. Today was the first day he was able to do his 50 sight words. So he got to be able to do 100. So we're going to get him to 100. Half the year, 50, the other half, 50. We're going to get you to 100. So he does his sight words to get them all right, his 50. So what I did was I told Janaya, I was like, maybe it's just me, because the teacher be like, he don't know nothing. The teacher told us he know like 4 or 5. And we like, ain't no way this man know 4 or 5. Like, what the? Because we've been working with him, like, ain't no way. So I told Janaya to record it, right? So she recorded it, but I kept the door open so I could still hear. So he gets them all right, right? I was so happy that he got them all right without me being in there or without her having to like do none of them for him. It made me so happy that I started crying. So you said what?
That was tears of joy.
Exactly. So, and he saw me and he looked at me. He's like, "Daddy, you always get on me for crying, but you crying." And I was just like, "I'm crying because I'm happy. I'm not crying because something hurts or because I'm just crying just because. Like I feel like I have a reason to cry." But for him to always think that crying means sadness, and for me to show him that you can be crying tears of joy for something and it be okay, was another thing that shot me today, because we wasn't going to talk about, we was just talking about emotions, but the fact that I can share that emotion with y'all to show that all men cry and it's okay to cry. But yeah, you don't want to be weak and out here crying about everything. Like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry when you're sad, because that's what you're supposed to do. It's okay to cry when you're happy. It's okay to cry. So when somebody asks you, like, when was the last time you cried? Don't feel bad about it. I wouldn't feel bad about it, because it could have been something sad. It could have been something happy. Or you could have just had a stressful day and I need to cry. Like, it's been one of those days. Let me just cry and I'm going to be good. Like, I've had days like that where I'm like, yo, let me just cry this shit out and I'm good. Like, give me about 5 minutes. Let me go cry and I'm going to come back and I'm good. Like, I got to get this shit out. So, Manny, L, yeah, AP, last time you cried?
That had to be weeks ago for me. Yeah, but that was because something happened to me. It was stressful. It was more of an overwhelming couple of tears, you know. And then you sniffle it out, and then you done.
I
I
think
ain't had a good hard one in a while.
I think for me it was probably like you said a couple weeks ago. I I catch myself getting teary eyed or crying a lot more now because of the therapy. I know I harp on the importance of that more and more, but going to that, it allowed me to be more vulnerable and more open with my emotions because, like Brandon said, as black men, we're taught not to show emotion, and if you do, that you're weak, which is not true at all. So now that I've taken that leap and I've started therapy and I've been more open, um, I don't see it as weak as all at all anymore. So I can be watching a random movie and it can be like something sad going on or something joyful, and next thing you know, I'm getting teary eyed. I'm like, I'm gonna be a fucking mess when I have kids. I already know it because I'm sitting here watching a movie by myself and I'm getting teary eyed. I was like, I know, like you said, things like that happen with your son. Like that's such a joyful moment. Like, you can't help but cry. Um, and I hate the stigma of if you cry that you're weak. That's something that our generation need to change because the one before us, um, we heard that all the time. As soon as you cry, like stop fucking crying. Men aren't supposed to cry. Like that's not true. Like it's a natural emotion. Like it's nothing wrong with crying. Like you said, like you don't want to be out here just crying about everything. But if you are, why are you crying? Are you crying because you're frustrated? Are you crying because you're happy? Like you need to have those conversations. So if your son is crying, like ask him why. Like why are you crying? If he says because he's mad, okay, why are you mad? He tell you why he's mad. Okay, so what are we gonna do about that? What can we do to fix that situation? What can we do to help you not be mad now? I think those conversations that we need to have with our friends, with kids, all that. Um, and we should be able to openly talk to our friends. So I should be able to openly talk to y'all and tell y'all, yeah, I cried yesterday. Why I cried, and not feel some type of way because I do it, or not be scared to tell y'all that I cried because y'all gonna fucking laugh at me or something like that. Not saying that y'all do that. Like I know we've had this,
No judgment.
yeah, we've had this conversation, and I think I've told y'all that I cried. I've told like my other group of friends like it should be no judgment. I shouldn't be scared to tell people that I'm really close with that I cry or that I have these emotions. So yeah, that's just something we need to change that
Right.
stigma. We need to change that stigma of black men being um, emotionless and not allowed to show that we're sad or that we get mad or that we get overwhelmed because we already have a lot of pressure on us enough already. So for us to have that pressure already, and then for us to have to hide that it's pressure or that we're sad about something or that we're being overwhelmed, it's too much. So we definitely need.
Next time you tell me that you cried, I'm gonna sing "Lean on Me."
Yeah, I definitely yeah.
Unless it was about the Notebook.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
the movie's stupid.
hey man, no big sad as hell. Nobody
The movie is so dumb. I hate that movie.
yeah, man, like I talk about that so much now, bro. It's okay to cry, bro. Like it's everybody do it. We
Yeah.
all have these emotions. We all get mad about shit. We all get overwhelmed. We all get sad, bro. Like we shouldn't, like Brandon said, he shouldn't be having to cry in silence, bro. Like if you cried, you cried. Like shit happens, bro. You cry. You figure out why you crying. You pick yourself up. You get your cry out. Get your shit together, and then keep moving. We shouldn't have to hide that we crying, bro.
Facts on that. L,
Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you, bro.
All right, because I've been talking this whole time, or at least trying to chime in to little things that y'all were saying, and I wasn't getting any feedback. But the last time that I could think of when I cried, or I definitely, well, first off, I definitely agree with everything that y'all said. We shouldn't be. And to what he was saying, I feel like that that stigma of men shouldn't show any emotion or shouldn't cry is from what was instilled in us and instilled in generations before us. You know what I'm saying? And I would agree with that's something that we need to change. You know, moving forward, being able to show the younger generation that it's okay to show emotion. But the last time that I could think of that I actually cried or shedded tears, and I want to say I said it in the first podcast or the second podcast, is when I watched the video of George Floyd dying. And even I would say sometimes watching Netflix, Hulu, you know, little shows, you get involved so deep into these seasons, 2, 3, 4, 5+ seasons, characters dying, or you know, you didn't got attached to somebody. I didn't caught myself having to catch a couple tears back or 1 or 2 falling. Like, damn, it's just TV, but it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's okay to show that emotion, and not all the time is it sad, but you know, it is tears of joy, and I actually enjoy tears of joy, of course, more than crying. I would assume anybody would, but you know, tears of joy is because you're happy about something. You're when you're actually crying, when you're in tears of joy, you're definitely overwhelmed. Like, it's just really overwhelmed you. You're like almost that happy to where you're crying. Like, that's a great type of feeling. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't knock anybody trying to show emotion. I would say I can't say that I've always been like that. Now I am, but growing up, I would say, yeah, if I seen you crying, like, yeah, nigga, what you crying like, nigga, you little punk. What the fuck you got going on? You know what I'm saying? But you don't, when you think about it or put yourself in that person's shoes, you don't know what they're going through, what has happened that day, or what's going on with their lives. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the older you get, the more you grow, the more you learn, the more you understand. And that's somewhere where I'm at now. And just like you were saying earlier, we're still learning every day, learning something new every day.
You know, that's maturity right there.
Facts.
You know what's really good though? Those laughing cries.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything, yo.
I haven't had one of those in a good minute. That's probably because they've been on the game. Y'all probably had a few, but I ain't had a good one in a minute.
Man, I'll cut on one of the things that kind of helped me through, you know, my sad times. You know, I'll say it like this: a lot of people, they see the negative in you, right? And they like to pinpoint and talk about that negative. And there's a song called "The Best in Me," and it talks about how God sees the best in you. So I put that song on. I think for the last 2 weeks I played it at least 100 times, and each and every time it's just me reassuring myself. I go in the shower and the tears mix with the doggone water, but
That's that shit.
Yeah.
That's 3 in a row. Call a timeout, dog. That's 3 in a row. It's ice cold out here. Yo, the show about to be lit. The show about to be lit if we win.
Yeah, it's
I need them to get this derby.
The show about to be lit.
I know. I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all definitely remember my breakup from was it last year? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you tell us, brother.
And that I forgot. Boy, when I say I was out here motherfucking boo-hooing, brother. And
you can hear it.
Man, and then so the way I love music so much, bro. So whenever I listen to music, like I feel that shit like 10 times more than a normal person would. So just like Brandon said, bro, you put that shit on, I'll be in the shower, I'm in there singing. Bro, I had a little moment. You remember when Chris Brown was on the BET Awards and he was crying?
When he was the tribute to Michael Jackson?
Yeah, man, bro. I was in the motherfucking shower singing. It was Jealous by Labyrinth. I was in that motherfucker singing that song. I'm going with the words, and for some out of nowhere, man, that shit just hit me, and I'm crying, bro. I didn't know if it was the tears or the water from the shower.
I remember when you told us.
Man, yeah. I was going, dog, and I'm still trying to sing the words, and I'm just like, yeah, so the way. Oh man, look, it was the best thing ever. I felt so good after that cry, brother. I got out of the shower. It was great,
A
man.
new man.
Look, I felt 10 times lighter, brother. I was like, hell yeah. I told all y'all. I told everybody that story. I was like, that shit was great, man. I deserve an Oscar for that.
You probably like that, bro.
But man, look, watch that damn performance Chris
He
Brown
cried
did.
like Denzel, boy.
Brother, I was the same motherfucking way in that shower, brother. I had my brush. I was using my brush as a microphone. It was a rap.
Oh wow, he was into it.
I was in that motherfucker, bro. Tears just flowing too, man. It was great. I be feeling so good when I cry now, bro. That should be great. I might cry tomorrow, man. You never know, nigga. Yeah, you never. I
cry.
I might hear a song when I'm in the shower and start crying, brother. You never know, man. It's good.
Premeditated. About to let it rip.
Can I
hear you on that one?
Can I get 11 in the fourth? 11 in the fourth? Brandon.
Hell no.
Brandon. So I'm glad that we can have that conversation because it's real important that men know that it's okay to have emotions. We can't all be hard all the time, like no homo. It's just one of those things that I knew it was coming from somebody. It's just one of those things that people the stereotype is something we got to change, and it starts with us, Darion, since we do have young boys, to show them it's okay to cry. Don't be out here crying all the time. That's a problem that I started having with Kobe. Like, all right, dog, you don't be crying all the time, but it's okay to cry. Yeah, like it's okay to cry, but don't be crying all the time. Like that's when it starts to become weakness. So, but we had Kyrie, one of those people. He came out, he said something. And I want y'all input on this. I'm gonna play the video real quick.
Well, number one, I think as a native black man, as a native black king, you know, I think it's part of my responsibility to continue to push our generation, our culture forward. I know that it probably was met with some people that love it. I love the idea, and some people that don't like it. But my thing is paying homage to the example that has been set by that man. He's 17 years old. We're drafting guys even younger now, guys that are coming out of different places. And he was the standard for our generation, and he will continue on. And I want that to be something in history that is changed forever, that our generation was part of that change. And, you know, if that means that I have to lead that forward and get the conversation going, then great. But, you know, I think he deserves it. I think his family deserves it. I think we deserve it, as seeing greatness personified as Mamba. And anyone that's coming into the league should know that that's the example that was set. And I'm only saying that just speaking about Kobe. I don't want to discredit any of our other historical players that have done amazing things for the league. I'm not discrediting anyone when I say that Kobe should be the logo, because we have so many examples of guys that did things on and off the floor that were leaps and bounds for us to be where we are now. So I'm just saying present day, I think it was 224. It was only a year after the memorial. And, you know, it's just a refresher that this is the guy for us. He's the guy for me. He's my mentor, more than just an inspiration. I took a lot of knowledge and wisdom from that guy, and he's always around me. And Gigi's always around me. And I know that in the women's game, we want to continue to push things forward, but in our game too, we want to set a standard and a precedent. Like this is excellence. Kobe Bryant logo. Yes, needs to happen. I don't care what anyone says. Black Kings built the league. It's exactly what I meant. It's exactly where I stand.
So that's your guy, AP. What you think about what he said?
Well, for one, I could barely hear him. Is that just me?
I think so.
Yes.
Nah, it was going in and out on mine, but I got the gist of it.
Yeah, it was like skipping. Somebody give me a rundown.
Hey, it was I agree.
Like Black history, something about that man. You talking about Kobe?
Oh my God. All right, so yes, and I agree with Kyrie.
I told you I ain't hit it.
To to come into the league, you know, and to just emulate the great, and for him to put himself in the category of one of the best to ever play at his position. I mean, it was a tragic accident that took him away, and right when he was getting started on the second part of his legacy, because he left a legacy behind. You know what I mean? 24-8, he left a legacy behind, and I agree. You know, that symbol, that logo should definitely be changed, especially since we're in a position where we're already fighting for certain rights, certain things, certain situations are happening in this day and age. Show me. I'm going to say me. Show me that you actually care about the people that look like me. So that's what I got.
Oh, I ain't even had to hear the video, Dan. I agree. Yeah, he should be the logo.
Yeah. El, what's your thoughts? Because Kyrie has said some things like the Earth is flat. But this wasn't a bad idea actually. What you think, El?
No, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I think it's time for a change, and I think that would be a humongous change in the NBA, especially logo wise. I mean, what's it been? Jerry West for how long?
Is it Jerry West?
I believe so. Yeah, ain't it Jerry West?
Yeah.
It's that old ass
What?
motherfucker.
Yeah. The guy who got it when Bill Russell was dominating the league.
I believe.
I was
I
about to
believe
say,
it's Jerry
what's he?
West.
You said what?
I was saying,
What'd you
what
say,
has he
Brian?
done? what is he
Right,
done?
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's for how long? Like, it's definitely time for a change. And I think if anybody's going to be on that logo, I think Kobe would be a great runner-up, the first one to be. So I'm not knocking it at all.
Well, I
Wait,
feel the same way.
You said runner up. Who would be the first option? Michael Jordan?
Well, I meant first. I did say runner-up, but then I said the first option right after that. I don't know if you heard me or not. I could have been going in and out like that video.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Chill on my video, bro. We getting there, bro. Chill on my
No,
video.
it could be a signal. It could be, you know.
But
yeah, I meant first option though. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I am a big Kobe fan. AI is my favorite, and Kobe's a real close second. I'm just always call my son Kobe. His name is Jacoby though, but I've always called him Kobe. Short story. I wanted to name Kobe, my son Jacoby and Jamelo, so I could have Kobe and Melo together. But didn't happen that way. So I've always had a special spot in my heart for Kobe. As y'all know, that's where the LBJ hate came from when they was comparing him to Kobe. That's where a lot of it came from, honestly. Just because I thought Kobe was so much better. So, yeah, I would love it. It'll be perfect for me. Manny?
Yeah, I'm all for it, bro. I agree with what Kyrie said. We as a race elevated this league. And Kobe did so much. Great player. So I wouldn't have it any other way. It'd be a great way to show respect and show respect to how great he was. So yeah, I agree, man. Jerry West, that shit is old. So yeah, it's time to change that. I'm all for it.
All right.
So I don't even know how they decided on Jerry West at that time, anyway.
So E's all for it. So with that being said, it is now the favorite part of the show. Story time. We want to thank everybody that makes it to this part of the show because this is the best part of the show. You get to hear a story on side of all the other stories we tell throughout the show, but a more specific story that has to do with all three of us, one of us, but one of us is going to be involved in the story. So today's story time, Manny.
What's going
Hey,
on?
I got a question before that. Sorry to interrupt on that one. What defines a man?
What you mean?
A man?
I want to know what you guys think is the definition of a man.
A provider?
I don't know. That's kind of a tough question for me.
That's my first bullet point. Provider, protector.
Okay. L.
Good talk.
That's a good.
A guy.
Well, I'm sorry I can't rip off a fucking answer as fast as you want me to, bitch. Damn.
All you gotta do is you can say or something. Like you just be quiet. Like
Yeah,
bro,
I do though. Like y'all looking right at me, sitting here thinking and shit. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know which one of y'all said it, but like that's a real hard question to answer.
I would say I would agree with Darion. Growing up, I would say that's how I was brought up as a man was supposed to be, the protector and provider for not only himself and his family. Like, so I would say that would be my answer because that's how I was brought up and raised.
I have no idea, bro. Because I like that's the like the little gender role things. Like I'm not gonna
see, I was gonna say that too.
Cause like I'm pretty sure all of us were raised like the man is supposed to be the provider, but that's not always the case. Like what if?
Yeah, I agree definitely.
My lady, yeah. So that's why that. So what Brandon's saying, I don't really even know how to answer that, brother. Like I don't. I have no idea.
See, I guess that depends on how you think providing is supposed to be because, like for instance, a stay-at-home dad, he still provides, but he's not providing, like with a full-time job and income.
That's true.
But he's providing, childcare and raising the kids. So I don't know. As long as you're doing something.
Grown, independent.
Yeah, you gotta be doing something. You gotta be taking care of something.
Well, there you go. A man is a provider. He got to be taking care of something.
He's got to be grown, independent.
Well,
yeah, that as well.
I don't know about.
You can't provide for somebody if you ain't got for yourself.
Okay, then if you say it that way, then yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you on that.
Good. I appreciate that.
All right. So story time.
Oh, it's me. Oh.
No,
I didn't. Okay, yeah. So this was 11th grade, I think, junior year. Me and L, I was about to say the name, we were in English together. Miss Bumgart. I'm pretty sure that's how you say her name, Miss Bumgart.
Yeah, Miss Bumgart.
She was the size of what's her name? Elna off of Incredibles. Want to be making the suit.
Oh shit!
She was tiny as hell, and she had like these calf muscles, like she was a punter for the Chiefs or something. Like her shit was crazy. But I remember we had English. We got in trouble in her class so much. It was ridiculous. It was me, L, KY, and Nisi. I don't know why all four of us we took turns getting kicked out of her class. I'm pretty sure she hated us. And this is when we had, at school they had the first, second, and third. Second lunch was the dumbest shit ever because we go to class,
right before class
and then go back to class. So she had this little rule like don't eat in her class. And so to this day we went to the Chinese restaurant across the street. Everybody know the fucking infamous Chinese restaurant.
And
So we go,
That jump bang.
we go there. We
Facts.
get that little lunch special with the fried chicken, the wings, and the rice. We eat a little bit. We don't have enough time to eat all of it, so we take it back to class. And of course, me being a motherfucking a rebel, I'm eating in there. And she say something to me. She like, all right, Emmanuel, stop eating in class. I'm like, all right, okay, cool. KY, I'm pretty sure he was eating too. She told all of us to stop eating. L was like, all right, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he leave. And for some reason in her mind, she was like, I'm throwing his food away. And she just grabbed his food up under his desk. I was like, yo, what you doing? I was like, what you doing? She was like, I'm sick of y'all eating. I'm throwing this food away. I was like, yo, you didn't pay for that. Like, what you doing? And she threw my man's food away. And me being the petty person that I am and that y'all know I am, soon as he walked through the door, I'm like, yo, she threw your food away. I was like, yo, she threw your food away. And yo, all y'all know how this man is. He was like, who food? I was like, yours? Your shit gone. I'm like, yours, bro. What was that? What's that?
What was that?
Oh, your food. I'm like, your food, bro. That shit gone. All of it's in the trash. And he looked in the trash can. He was like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, hell yeah, bro. And I just sit back. Look, I done instigated the whole thing. And I just sit back, don't say nothing else. And he going the fuck off, bro. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, I think she kicked all of us out. Like,
Yeah, we all got kicked out that class that day.
She kicked all of us out. And I'm like, I didn't even do shit. She like, you started the whole thing. I like, yeah, you right, man. you right. I started it. She kicked all of us out. That man didn't have no food, bro.
I amped on Miss Bumgard ass, yo.
No, I don't know
Throwing
why.
my fucking food away, yo. Might tell you touch my shit. I wasn't even eating the shit. It was under the table. I mean, under the desk. Like, that shit made me even more mad.
I don't know why she threw that man food out because he was not eating. He wasn't even in the class no more, bro. So you knew he wasn't eating. His shit is under the desk. And she was like, I'm throwing this food away.
Oh my God.
Threw his food away. I was like, that's crazy. Like, he gonna be hungry. Like, why you throw his food away? That man came in that door, bro.
How he gonna learn? He hungry.
Dog, I said that shit so fast. I like, yo, she threw your shit away. She threw your food away. Like,
Well, shout out to Miss Bungard. Great shout out to her. She's no
wherever you are, Laura Farquaad.
All right, yo, we gotta get up out of here. Any plugs, yo? Any plugs?
Hey man, it's the same thing, man. Instagram, Hitman_Manny, MANNIE.
Yeah, same for me. IG __. Yeah, LEOYEALEO __.
On my Twitter, AP Over the Moon. You know, make sure you find me on Spotify or Apple Music as well.
Bro.
BT, Mr. I ain't got nothing. What the?
This nigga done went to the dark side.
9?
The devil?
Came out like Darth Vader, nigga.
I rebuke you, nigga.
I swear.
All right,
bro. Miss Bumgard had the calves of steel, bro. I swear to God, she did calf races all day. Man, too big.
Yeah, the cows was on 10 though. She was on swole, yo. She had like the rock calves.
Bro, she hated us so much. That shit is hilarious.
But y'all know where y'all can find me on Twitter at King's Realm ATL, where I'm about to presently go. We're gonna drop the new intro. But before we drop the intro there, we know we gotta drop it on Kicking It on the Bros first. Like, we gotta drop it here. That's cool with you, AP?
You.
All right, so we're gonna drop it here.
Cool with me.
We're gonna go out. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. AP in the building. You know what go on. Hey. Yeah. 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 Yeah, welcome to the show. I am your host. I walk around like number 11. I know I'm the GOAT. My chains, my rings on Matt Ryan, they coated in cold. I already killed the beat before I sat up and spoke. I'm here to close out the game. You sweep the dugout at best. I'm the realest. If real hopped off the page and showed in the flesh. No team jersey, but my city still on my chest. Trade from the 3. If I shoot, then it's all net. No time for you to rewind. You just in time. I'm a king. This king drum, so you know I'm in shine. I've been dope since 4 years after 1989. My pen work be out of this work, no pop flies. Not here to kill the game, just a competition. I'm Freddie Freeman on first, whoever pitching, I'm still getting it. I let the scoreboard tell us what the difference is. This is history in the making, you are witnessing. Shout out to the kid, you are tuned into the greatest. Rise up, kings won't watch a king in the making. I love it.
All right.
Brandon messing up. AP did his thing on the intro, bro. So
Hey.
Yeah, that was dope.
We did his thing on the intro.
Kind of went in and out like that video, but
That's fine. It's because
right.
you on your
Clearly.
laptop. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard.
Like Alvin.
Wow. It's because it's on your phone.
You did your thing.
All right, bro. We done. We done with you.
Why is Brandon
All right,
y'all
y'all be easy, bro.
All right, bro.
Be easy, bro. Y'all be safe.
all right, bro.